Dear colleagues and friends, sport today is defined by the values of diversity, equality, and inclusion. The power of sport to act as a catalyst for inclusion cannot be understated. And inclusion can only be achieved when persons with disabilities are not just participating, but in fact meaningfully engaged to create a powerful vision for the future where no one is left behind. This is why it's an honor for our office to be part of WeThe15, a partnership focused on promoting the human rights of persons with disabilities. Supported by the International Paralympic Committee, the IPC, WeThe15 is an initiative that will touch millions and highlight the realities of persons with disabilities, their experiences, the barriers they face, as well as how their inclusion and participating can be facilitated through guaranteeing their human rights. Our office has joined the IPC 3 years ago in its effort to increase the visibility of the situation of persons with disabilities from a human rights perspective. I am pleased to see how this partnership has since grown stronger and expanded by bringing on board the human rights and the disability-specific sports collectives with the aim of realizing the implementation of the rights enshrined in the Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities. Our partnership now involves entities working with the private sector and in research, UN entities and UN representatives, among others, and follows the lead of persons with disabilities themselves through both the IPC and the International Disability Alliance. Dear friends, the timing for the start of this journey together cannot be more auspicious. We are living in historic times, facing a global health crisis that has forced us to reflect on the future with a new perspective, building back better, and less than 10 years away from evaluating the advancements made under the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, which has called very consistently for no one to be left behind. We have seen the disproportionate socioeconomic impact of the pandemic on those already facing such inequalities, including persons with disabilities. Unfortunately, many of the measures taken by states to address the situation of those most marginalized have yet again failed to ensure their equal rights. It is therefore even more important to be united and as vocal as possible. I sincerely hope that WeThe15 will be a powerful platform to communicate to the world the future we want for persons with disabilities and highlighting the contributions that they can make to development, peace and security, to combating climate change, and of course, respect for human rights. Dear colleagues, while the implementation of WeThe15 campaign rests mainly on the shoulders of our partnership, it requires everyone's engagement to achieve lasting change. I would therefore encourage all of you to engage in any way you can to multiply the campaign's message so it can have as wide a reach as possible, particularly to decision makers. Starting with the Tokyo 2020 Paralympic Games, WeThe15 will spread the message of promoting a meaningful participation of persons with disabilities by eliminating barriers to their inclusion. The roadmap to 2030 will bring us to cities all over the world, and we intend to amplify our message every step of the way. This campaign represents a sign of hope and unity in these challenging times. Let's make our journey a collective one to realize the rights of every person with disability everywhere. Thank you.
I acquired my disability later in life. I was misdiagnosed for a very long time and consistently told that I didn't look sick. When I was finally given the right treatment, I had many surgeries and I left hospital in a new body that happened to be disabled. I quickly realized that the world around me was no longer built with me in mind. During that time I spent in hospital, I was very upset about having to abandon my dream of being a dancer. It had literally been something I'd been working towards my entire life. But I was still in love with the entertainment industry, so I took the leap of faith when I was recovering and moved to Los Angeles, the heart of the entertainment industry, and where it is significantly warmer than the UK. After just a few months of being there, I lost a job, not because of my disability, but because of Hollywood's ableism. I went to events and everyone was saying diversity is a seat at the table. And everyone was saying diversity is a seat at the table. And I was saying, but what if we don't have access to the door to get to the table? And that's why I founded CTalent. Our goal is to normalize disabled people being experts in subjects beyond disability and to create superstars who just so happen to be disabled. I want to see disabled people just as famous as the George Clooneys and the Viola Davises because representation matters. We want to seamlessly integrate disabled people into all projects, all campaigns, all activations, and not just the disability-specific ones. The entertainment industry holds an incredible power. Over 1 billion people watch TV every day. And to show just how big that is, there are 1 million seconds in a week, but there are 1 billion seconds in 32 years. So if we paint the wrong picture about disabled people, then the world will see it and believe it. We have to familiarize audiences with seeing disabled people on their screens authentically and in a new light. Because knowledge is power, and the media is a global teacher, whether we actively realize it when we're watching entertainment or not. And if we look back in history, the media's perception of disabled people has not been great. It's been those of burdens or who command pity or have been used as horror props or comedy props, such as The Hunchback of Notre Dame, Captain Hook, The Joker, and so many more. So we have to authentically represent roles both in front and behind the camera and change the narrative. We have to show that we have fully fleshed out lives and disability, it's not the most interesting thing about us. We are not living to be someone else's inspiration and we're not caricatures. We are the entrepreneurs, the mothers, the fathers, the girl next door, the gay best friend, and so much more. After the third time, a client of mine had to get changed in a storage room because the trailers on set weren't accessible for them. Or the time production offered to carry a client of mine up the stairs because they didn't book an accessible venue. Or once again, getting a script across my desk where a disabled child gets a trophy for just going to school. That was enough. It's about time that we show people we don't need special treatment. We just need equal treatment and true equity. We're currently in the planning permission process at CTalent to build one of the world's first fully accessible film studios that's built with disabled people at the heart of it, that goes beyond compliance and incorporates universal design, which is the fundamental condition of good design. And as Caroline Casey has very well shown, that it's good business. If we don't design for accessibility or include disabled people, then it's like saying we don't want the business of every fourth person that walks or rolls through the door. We have to have disabled people in all roles, from the mailroom to the CEO, including all cultures, minorities, backgrounds, ethnicities, genders, religions, and more are part of the production. We need to hire disabled consultants, because if there's one person on your staff and say that they're the gaffer or the cinematographer, it shouldn't be on that one disabled person to speak on behalf of an entire community. Non-disabled people are oftentimes so scared to say the wrong thing that they won't say anything at all. Instead, they will internalize everything and find an excuse of why not to hire or fund us. So instead of internalizing that, we have to turn doubts into questions. No one's going to get angry at anyone for saying the wrong thing, but we will get angry at you for saying the wrong thing in front of millions and millions of people. And that is also why I love WeThe15, because it shows us in a genuine light and not one that's been wrongly placed upon us. But we have to encourage active listening, empathizing, respecting, and celebrating cultures. I think in a world where we're all so similar, what a joy it is to be different. And through sport, through business, through entertainment, we have all we need to change the world. And now we need allies. And I believe to change society, we have to learn to tell and listen to a new set of stories about the world that we want to create. with accessible spaces and hiring authentic voices. So I encourage everyone here to take the opportunity of diversity with integrity by taking action from this conversation and supporting WeThe15.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Keely, thank you very much. Really, this was a fantastic message. Thank you very much. So many important things, and thank you for your work in working with the Hollywood and generally entertainment industry. I think indeed these powerful medias and the powerful spokespersons, we need to be there, and we need to start framing conversation. Like you said, we don't want that conversation is framed for us. We need to be there to frame it. So thank you for your work, and I'm looking forward to this journey, and especially in terms of collaboration with you.